You can send it in or keep going through this rain link. That's all we need to wrap this up. Okay, but what I mean is, would it be the worst thing if it slowed down for 6 months, if all of these people's children are doubting the strength of their marriage? It hasn't changed anything at all. But once more, what if there is a chance Lisa could come back? Wouldn't that be the best thing in the end? But no, I'm not kidding. If you guys could get back, wouldn't that be the best thing that could happen? What you didn't trust, though, is that I gave everything I had to make that happen. Okay, I gave it 1,000% because my heart cried out for her to do that. You're saying, okay, we'll just keep doing it. Okay, I gave it that. I gave it 1,000%. Yes, that's intensity, because I've been ignored for 30 years and I tried and tried and cried and cried and prayed. Okay, this isn't even to ask if your dad is scared of me. I'm a little. Output because of your response. Yes, like that one, I know. The thing that it is again is his personality. Okay, so I've been through a lot of pain and you're telling me no? I'm just asking, wouldn't that be the most honorable thing in the eyes of the Lord? Being abused or ignored is not honorable. Being ignored and unloved is not an achievement. That's not a good thing to do. Okay, I feel good about what I did in front of my God, who has never left me during this whole process and does miracles for me. Because of that, okay, that's not right. You're telling them to beat themselves up at home and shut up because your name is Christian? No, but do it. No, but can God change your mind? Could she change? You get it. But I'm telling you that we serve a big God. He can change. He can fix broken marriages. We think that when they first meet, that is the best thing, but it's not. I know, but she can change. The public didn't know much about Doug Weiss's split from his wife of over 30 years, which added to the mystery that is now being revealed. His job is to help couples get back together, so people are always interested in his personal life. For some, getting married to Joni, especially in these conditions, was seen as going against the rules. He stands for when Marcus asked Joni to address the many worries about her marriage to Doug. She spoke out strongly in his defense and said he has been a wonderful husband since they got married. Listen to what she has to say. Thoughts like, should you get married? Is it in the Bible? It's not in the Bible. That's right, everyone ran with the clip about Robert Morris. He said it wasn't really religious. That's what Susie says Robert Morris told her. And I want you to share whatever you feel safe saying on the platform about that from the bottom of your heart. You know the Bible verse that says there is knowledge in many opinions? Well, I didn't start talking to Doug until he was divorced. At first, we were just friends, but then it grew into something more. But I hung out with people in the church that I trust, and since you're an interviewer, I had to ask him a million questions. So I told people I trusted, hey, I know people are watching me, you are wise, and I'd like you to come help me. Walk through this situation. So they all said, let's meet him, talk to him, and find out what his story is, and they did. Then they all told her, we understand his situation, and we believe there is a biblical reason. We're okay with you starting to date him, but just take it slow. That was around September or October 2022, and that's what I did. I slowed it down. We slowed down and started to take our time. He lives in Colorado Springs, too. This is where I am in Dallas. Of course, people will always have their own thoughts on this, but I know what his story is. God knows what his story is. And the people I've been around know what his story is. I'm not going to talk about his private life or what happened because, in the end, Marcus, it's none of my business. I needed to be sure I was following what God was telling me, so I had a lot of prayer and advice. Finally, he and I got married. Doug is a great guy, and being married to him has been a huge blessing for me. I mean, what you said something about an NDA, yes, his ex-wife signed the NDA at that point. It's not true at all. Okay, and Susie said something about his ex-wife. She has never talked to his ex-wife, and you know Doug and his wife. The ex-wife worked with a judge to settle the case, and everything was split fairly. There's a lot of talk about this, but he still gets along with his ex-wife. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. We won't hurt her or his kids by telling you everything we know, but know this: I didn't start talking to him until he was divorced. In any case, I never talked to his ex-wife. I have no idea what she said or didn't say. All I know is that when I first met him, he was separated, and I knew what happened because he told me private things about his marriage. I know we won't talk about those things, but she still works for him. To be clear, I mean that they work well together. There's no anger or anything like that going on there. Some people are trying to get in touch with her and say they are, while others say, she's not Tom, but you say there isn't an NDA. That stuff isn't there. There is no NDA. There wasn't an NDA. There have been arguments about leadership, religion, and the personal lives of people who teach others about spiritual things because of this marriage. It serves as a reminder that religious public figures are closely watched, and their deeds can either inspire or disappoint. What do you think? Is this a story of love and divine time, or is it a story of trouble and bad choices? Tell us what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that bell and like the video to get more stories like this sent to you. Question everything until next time. Continue to learn. Goodbye. It wouldn't be the most honorable thing to do in front of the Lord, that's all. You shouldn't be proud of being abused. Being mistreated is not a sign of honor. Being ignored is not a sign of honor. Being ignored and unloved is not an achievement. That's not a good thing to do, okay? My God has never left me during this process and does miracles to help me get through it. I have a clean mind before Him. Okay? That's not a good thing to do. If you're a Christian, you should just get beat up at home and put up with it. No, but can God change your mind? Could she change? Jonathan, I pray that you never have to go through the pain he has. I get it, but can people change? You don't get it. You don't get it. You don't understand because you haven't lived long enough. That makes sense, but I mean that we serve a big God. He can change. He can fix broken marriages. That's what Daystar stands for. That really is the best. Hello, chosen few. Good to see you again on Anointed TV. We are going to talk about one of the most talked about events in the world of Christian radio and TV today, Dr. Doug Weiss's and Joni Lamb's controversial wedding. The story has caused a lot of controversy because it's been linked to the split in the Lambs family. With the new piece of proof I'm going to show you in this video, the story gets even more complicated. First, let's talk about the people involved in this story. Joni Lamb is now married to someone else. She co-founded Daystar Television Network with her late husband Marcus Lamb. It is known that Dr. Doug Weiss, a Christian counselor who specializes in sexual addiction, divorced his long-term wife Lisa Weiss before they got married. Joni Lamb and Doug Weiss said they were getting married in March 2023, just a few months after Marcus Lamb died from COVID-19 issues. A lot of people don't agree on this date. Some people say that Joni may not have had enough time to mourn or think about her previous relationship because she moved on so quickly to a new one. There are now public records of the split, which show that Doug asked for a divorce in January 2022, just 2 months after Marcus's death. The hearing went on until May 31, 2022, when the case was over. A while back, Denise Boggs said that Joni Lamb asked her to hang out with a friend who was going through a breakup. Doug was that friend. This shows that Joni talked to Doug while he was getting divorced. She kind of said she was getting ready. She had to get ready for someone who might be coming into her life. After that, Doug Weiss became a part of her life. And did you talk to Joni at all during that time? She did get in touch with me and ask if I could hang out with a friend of hers who was going through a tough breakup. She told me they had started talking and were going to start dating. And I did say what was bothering me at that time. He hadn't. It came too soon. I told them no, it's too early. They haven't been worked out with him. I told them I would be happy to work with them. No, it's not time yet. She then said, okay, that's fine. Jimmy Evans would work with them, though. After I warned her and told her no, there were too many unfinished business at that point. I stopped working. It's also too early to start this. That's why I didn't work with them. Doug and Joni Lamb say that they build a friendship in a good and holy way. Then, on the last night of 2022, Doug asked Joni to marry him at the Broadmoor in Colorado Springs. They got married on June 10th, 2023, and Jimmy Evans was the officiant at our wedding. Jonathan, his wife Susie Lamb, and their mother Joni Lamb would have a hard time getting along because of this. Joni thought Doug should have tried to fix his marriage to Lisa. Doug was pushed to do the right thing by Jonathan in one of their talks. Listen to how he yelled at them in anger. You don't know if Doug told you the whole story or just part of it. Okay, fine. Jonathan, I've done a lot of things before. I can tell a lot of difference. Since I know how to talk to Doug, I could have told after 5 minutes of talking to him and Joni if he was telling the truth. When we were talking, I asked him a lot of questions, and he answered all of them. He never put Lisa down. Don't ever blame her. But he's good at it. He's pretty much the best at dealing with people. He made him less human. You know what I mean? I'm a thing in this world. Doug is a thing in the world you guys made. He has no soul. He's not a Christian brother. We don't forgive him. He's not following Christ's rules. He's a thing. That's Doug. So you have made him less human. He works as a professional. He knew what he was doing when he wooed him and cried with him and all that. That is, as a person, I'm calling Doug and asking him questions. He answers every single question in a way that I've heard someone who has been abused for a long time answer the same question over and over again. So that's number one. Number two, I asked people questions about what was going on in their relationship. I'm not going to say who I asked, but I did question them and got answers. And Lisa and I met a few times. So I was happy with the conversation I had with her, him, and others because I knew exactly what Lisa would have said and done in a chat with Lisa. We talked about this the other day. I think Rachel was asking. It would have taken 6 months longer. Lisa would have said, I've tried to fix things with them. I want to be with you. This is what I mean. So I have to use the knowledge and experience I have to work with the people in front of me. But once more, trust is the most important thing. That's what Rachel said about you, Susie, the other day. Well, Susie wants to say something. It was rude to treat her with so much care when she trusts you more than anyone else at the table. I don't care. I don't care, which is great about me at this age. Things are going well in my life. You can either believe what I say and trust my experience. I'm not going to market myself. I'm not going to fight back. This is not the first or 31st time I've done this. They are just facts. Sure thing, Jimmy. It might have taken 6 months longer if I had talked to Lisa. But would that have been a bad thing when we're all questioning everything? I know that, no. As far as I can tell, though, they're desperate. Every child and teen. Just now we talked about older children who are remarried. When someone has died. I'm telling you that I understand how you feel and give you grace for it. I'm not going through what you are, though. And I've done it before. I am telling you that you can trust me.